Welcome back, familiar, to Northside LDN. Caramba, we got a massive show, massive panel, and we've got a lot of transfer news to get onto. Before we get onto the news, let's go through all the big guests. We got Dave. You know what I'm saying, man? Like Dave, shut the stream down, Dave.
In front of the scenes this time, bro. In front of the scenes. But I'm bloody disappointed, man, from yesterday. Absolutely. I was doing the stream with Lee, and then
hold that.
What was the score?
4-2. I led to Madrid. I'm absolutely. You should have seen my face. I was literally silent for about 15 minutes in extra time. I was flipping gutted. But anyway, we move. That's a copy of the.
Get ready for that in Madrid.
Bigger fish to fry and all that, you know.
Dave, get ready for that in the Champions League, bro.
Yeah, don't worry, mate. We'll come up against Man City, hopefully. Yeah. But let's say if they perform the same as they did yesterday against Man City, they'll get absolutely pumped.
Or you could perform the way you did last season as well against Man City.
Yeah, no, we won't do that. No, not this time. Not this time. But it's a pleasure to have myself on, as usual. But in front of the scenes this time. And thank you,
Love for jumping on. Listen, we need some more girls in here. There's too many, man. Look how many man on the stream, man.
What? That was my vibe when I joined backstage and more people were joining. I'm like, whoa.
I was like, yo.
Yeah. We got to, bro. We need to get the Avengers in, man. We need to squeeze the last juice out of all this news, bro. We have to. Yeah. Big up. Love for jumping on, bro.
Come on, man.
Undertaker theme soon, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We got to. Representing Man City, DAPS, one of Arteta's many lawyers.
No. Hold on.
I wouldn't use that.
Hey, I was until this season. I admittedly was, but this season I'm changing my mind on Arteta now. I'm changing my mind on him.
Don't worry, I got an apology box at the end of the season.
No apologies. I still will speak. Listen, Northside, remember, all I ever said was, the minute you start dropping off, I understand if you want to get rid of him, but then you still have to credit him for the things he has done for your club. But right now, I'm hearing what you're saying, bro. I'm picking up what you're putting down. So
you know what I mean? It is what it is. Love DAPS for jumping on.
Yeah, love always.
And we've got Dan Potts. What are you telling me, my guy? You working hard out here, are you?
Yeah, man. I'm all good, bro. Listen, but I didn't know there were so many of these men on.
Yo, same.
Faces. Big up to yourself, Northside. Thank you for having me on, man. Big up Dave as well. It's been time. Madrid Fan TV. Look at you, man. How you doing,
Wait, Dan, thanks for keeping us entertained with all of your new Instagram stuff as well, bro.
No, that's I've been told to get on it, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing on this thing. So
moving your head about like that,
man. Doing heads, my neck's gone. That, you know what I'm saying? Good to be on with you boys, man. Great to see so many friendly faces. So big up Northside for having me on, man.
Nah, big up to all of you lot. Listen, MONTZ, it's been a while. Listen, I've been meaning to get you on. You know what I'm saying? He's another one that likes to stir the pot sometimes. What you saying, my G? You good?
Listen, it's good to be here. Again, when I saw everyone's face, I was like, bro, stop. Bro. You know what I'm saying? SAEED, I see DAPS. Obviously, Dave, it's my first time meeting you. Kenny, it's my first time meeting you. It's obviously good to meet you, man, as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to obviously home in on the many truths. This is a many truths channel. So I always feel at home when I'm here, as Northside would know. And, you know, my saying for Arsenal fans, avoid expectations, seek validation, is going to be very valid today. You know what I'm saying? So I hope everyone is ready for that. But big up everyone on the channel, man.
Nah, love, man. Love. Listen, love for jumping on. Staffy, what are you telling me, my guy? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Good. Listen, when I signed up for the show, I didn't know it was the elimination chamber going on over here, you know? Who's coming on next out of the pot? I don't know, bro. Next thing you're going to see those lights, then someone's going to walk out. But listen, big up a lot of familiar faces here and a lot of new faces here. So to the new ones, nice to meet you guys. And to the familiar ones, nice to see you again. And big up to everyone to the chat as well. There's a lot of people that haven't seen me, probably going to see me for the first time. Obviously, I worked with Northside before on my channel. So it's an honor to be on your channel for the first time. So shout out yourself and shout out everyone who's watching. Make sure you guys smash a like, subscribe to all these wonderful people. It might take you a minute to go around the ring right here. There's a lot of us, but you know what? Bear with us, but big up, bro. Big up.
I'm wondering, Kenny, you'll get this one. I don't know if everyone in here will get this one because of the age thing, but I'm waiting for the bushwhackers to walk in and walk straight back out. I'm not going to lie.
We know the bushwhackers.
You know the
bushwhackers. You don't need an
Let them get a premiership first, and then they can get on the London show. It's all day, stay in their lane.
Nah, Kenny, listen, we got big Kenny here. You know what I mean? The Black Brock Lesnar. You know what I'm saying? What are you telling me?
You've never met me in person. The only person who's met me in person is Dave and Dane. And you're probably right. They're probably going to tell you that you're right. But I just want to say thanks for having me on. You know, it's not been great the last month or so as an Arsenal fan. You know, but we all tell the truth here. I'm dying to see SAEED what he says about Man United because I've been spying him for a while, and I just had to go and think, oh my God, I just feel for you. I feel your pain, and I feel the same for you, Staffy and everything.
Nah, both of our clubs, man. We used to be great clubs.
I'm going to say to all you guys, I think you're all mad to do this full time, YouTube, because I'm the only one about a YouTube channel. But I think get on with it because it's hard work, and you guys are doing really well, and you're consistent. To all those guys who want to do well in YouTube, look at these guys. The fact that this is what you call hard work. Don't play at it. If you're going to take it seriously and give your job up, then you got to do this seriously. Don't play it. You can't play at YouTube. You know what I mean? Because all of you guys must have thick skins. Because I'll tell you one thing: some of the abuse some of these pork chops give you.
For real.
I'll be going around their house.
You got a super chat already.
Hey, Kenny, I was going to say on behalf of everyone as well. The mad thing is that you're bigging us all up here for having our own channels. You're probably the biggest legend on here, and you haven't even got your own channel. Do you know what I mean? Like all man know about Kenny Ken, so and the DJs know Kenny Ken.
But I think a lot of it's got to do with the quarterfinal on the I think the 13th of March. 2016, when apparently I went viral because I had one of my magic roundabout moments, Green Street moments, because some pork chop thought it was a good idea to come have a go at someone who's twice their size.
I don't know if Northside were you born in 2016, bro?
I don't know, man.
Listen, we've got a lot of pain and trauma to spread around. There's enough in the chat. There's enough here in the panel. Well, let's get into the first one. Anyone can jump in. Anyone can have their say. I'm going to kick back. Olise to Man United also linked to Arsenal. Man United fans, good signing. Arsenal fans, good signing. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I don't mind him, I think he's a good player, man. Very, very technical player. Them right wingers, you don't really get them a lot, man. He reminds me a little bit of Mahrez as well with that close control. You know what I mean? It's difficult to kind of read him. Low sense of gravity. But my only worry is his injury record, man. Because he's had one big injury and then he's had another layoff with a hamstring injury as well. And sometimes when you have these kind of injuries, they're very, very impactful in terms of your explosiveness, the way you move around, your agility as well. You lose that kind of not extra yard of pace because I don't think he relies on his pace, but I think you do lose a lot when you have them hamstring injuries. They're kind of impactful on your body. So I'm not sure, man. And he's had a couple now already, but I do rate him. I think he's a quality player. You're looking at Rashford. We have a lot of runners in behind. He's more technical. He's more kind of like a different variety in his game. And again, he's one of the best wingers in the league right now in terms of young prospect, only 22. I like him, man, but how much are you going to get for him? That's another thing. And also, he's got that, like I said, he's got injuries, a lot of injuries in that aspect. So, yeah, man, I think he's a good player, man. Crystal Palace, how much are they selling for? I reckon he'd probably go for about 60, 70 million. They do need the money. They need to kind of move on and whatnot, and buy other players. So, yeah, I think he's a good player, man. But again, can you bank on them injuries? You know what I mean? That's the only problem for me. Are people willing to do that,
I'll take him at Arsenal. But the problem is that I think it's unrealistic in come to Arsenal because we got Bukayo Saka. Now, you guys know Bukayo Saka's Arsenal's attack. He's the alpha and omega for our attack. So, if you get an Olise and you put him in the first team, the only conclusion I can come to is that Bukayo Saka, as a free role, goes through the middle. That's the good thing. But in terms of Olise, he's got great dead ball delivery. As you say, he's back, his injuries and everything. I think he's not going to play tomorrow because I think he might be a bit short for that. But in terms of like what he's done with his career, I think Palace will probably ask for about 80 million. Because remember, Chelsea was sniffing around and he signed that new contract. So now they've got him under contract. They're entitled to ask for quite a lot of money. But at this stage, I don't see Olise coming to Arsenal to replace Bukayo Saka because How many times has Bukayo Saka been substituted in a football match? He never gets substituted because Mikel Arteta thinks if I take this guy off, he's most likely to open up the defence. And
would you not
realistic?
Would you not look at it? And I think the key was how much he's going to be. And I think you're right, because City and Chelsea were both linked with him in the summer. He's signed a new contract. Would you not feel if you get him right, then once again, what you're doing is you're going and getting. It's good. It would be good that you're getting cover or a replacement so you can rotate Saka, right? But for me, the answer is there, right? Gabriel Jesus can play on the right. He played on the right for City. For me, his best position for City was on the right. So for me, that's your Saka cover. You've got Saka cover, and then you go and spend that 80 million on it, or put that 80 million, go and get a striker. If you go and get another one, it's like, right, you've gone and got another creative player that doesn't get goals, and it would just be it's a good signing that would. It's almost like one that would. Okay, thanks. It's great, but that's not what we need. You've gone and got us something else that we don't really need that much.
Mikel don't want a striker because at the moment, the reason why he doesn't want a striker is because in terms of Mikel's very stringent how he plays. He changes the style every season, but with that season, with this season, how he started this season, regardless of whether we got injuries to Partey and Timber, he hasn't changed that style of play. He's putting square pegs round holes. Getting a striker in now, I think in terms of Mikel, you've got to change the way you play, because if you want to get a striker running, you've got to get the ball forward a lot quicker. You know what I mean?
True, very true.
So what's happened is that rather than play that patient style and get in around the box, you've got to try and go direct down the wings, create chances. That's not how we play. He's not prepared. If he changes the way, I think we're more likely to get a striker in the summer, because he doesn't want to disrupt his play, because Mikel's really, really stubborn. No matter how many times you say this ain't working, he's not going to change. He's banking on Partey coming back. He's banking on Timber coming back this season, and then he'll be able to, in his eyes, perfect the way we play. But for me, the way we're playing this season is basically leaving an open goal for teams to pick us off, because right now we're easy to play against. Even
we don't need a striker, bro. We've got Eddie and Ketia. What are you talking about?
Eddie and Ketia's a swear word, isn't it? He's a swear word. He's nice players.
His goal to games ratio is almost as good as Nicholas Bentner's, man. Come on, lay off him. He's getting there.
Nicholas Bentner.
Better. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Bentner's is better.
Bentner rated himself higher, though. Bentner rated himself. He backed himself.
Hey, Lord Bentner, lay off Lord Bentner as well, man. I tell you. Listen, if he doesn't think we need a striker, he is even more clueless than I thought he was, man. If he doesn't believe we need a striker, it's taken 4 years and he's got Jay's new. That's it. Crazy, man.
Dan, he's not getting a striker.
Get them Hostelu, man. Get them Hostelu.
No, no, please don't.
SAEED, he dunked on us. We shouldn't be talking. He dunked on us in preseason. You forgot that overhead kick.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be talking.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
Staffy, do you think your manager would go for someone like Olise, because his play style is more similar to Anthony than it is to a Rashford, where he's not going to blitz you for pace. He's more somebody that wants to work off the midfielder, a bit like Saka. He wants to work 1-2s, get into space. Very good player, but do you think that's the type of player profile that your manager would want to get? Because, it's not really working with Anthony.
Here's the thing. You can't ask me what does the manager want to do, because the manager doesn't know what he wants to do. So if he doesn't understand what he wants to do, I can't read his mind. And even though I too attempt to read his mind, I'm not going to get no answers. The guy says one thing and does the other. He says, I want to play transition football, and then signs Ajax players, and then says, I don't want to play Ajax football. Then he gets linked to the Ligt. The guy just makes no sense. It's like I'm getting steak sauce, but I'm having fried chicken. It don't make sense, bro. So don't ask me to read this guy's mind.
I know say, are you another one? You're done with Ten Hag, yeah? Fully done with him.
I've been done. I've been done 100%. Here's the thing when it comes to the right winger. We have too many right wingers that we can't get a tune out of before we sign one more. And I said it to you earlier, Northside. Remember I was saying United fans want him when he's really like how Sancho was when we signed him. What is the point of signing Olise when you have Olise at home? When I used to drive home from school, I used to tell my mom, I want McDonald's. She's like, no, we got food at home. Why do I want Olise when I got Olise at home? Listen, I got a fidget spinner that I spent 80 million on that I don't know what I'm gonna do with. I have Sancho, who came into this club, and let's all be honest here. He came in on a bigger hype than what Olise is doing at Palace right now. What Sancho was doing those 2-3 years with Dortmund is nothing compared to what Olise is doing now. And I rate Olise, by the way, but I'll get to that in a second. And then you have another right winger who has an issue and who's in Getafe right now, and we don't know what's going to happen in the summer when the summer's in. On top of all that, we have Ahmad, who's very similar to Olise, but hasn't really had any Premier League minutes. He went to the Championship, he did well. His time in the Serie A, he was rated very high. They were really pissed. All the big Italian clubs were pissed that he left Serie A that year when we signed him. I think we signed him for 30 million or whatever because it was a high prospect. So that's just 4 right wingers that I named you. Some of them are good, some of them are not good enough. But you have too many right wingers to solve to solve these issues right now. To add one more. And here's the thing with these United fans that I don't understand. I'm so tired of them. That's why I call them goofy. They're just a bunch of goofy. Most of them, bro, they're just a goofy fan base. They sit here and for 7 years they said, Martial, I don't like his body language. Look at his face. Olise scored a fucking banger against us last season and didn't celebrate. Can you imagine Olise scoring a banger in the Stretford end and Side is up there celebrating and then no facial reaction? Bro, they'll kill him after the game. They're going to be like, yo, look at his body language. He looks lazy. He doesn't look like he wants to be here, all that shit. It is the same thing that we've had over and over again. We just see a good talent and I'm like, oh my God, I really want this talent. Bro, we have abundance of talent that we sign and we can't get it to work. The last thing you want to do is add one more. And especially that he's going to cost a lot. And to add one last thing, because I don't want to ramble on for too long. If I'm Olise, why would I go to United? Like, honestly, if I'm sitting here, City want me, Chelsea want me, and Arsenal want me. Why would I go to United? If I am Olise's camp, I'd be like, see this club over there? Man United, you go this way. You go as far away as possible from this club. They have too many issues. They have too many players that come in with abundance of talent that failed there. So until they figure their shit out, you just sit here and wait at Palace until you get a better offer. If City come in, City need a right wing, he could go there. If Chelsea fix up and they come in and they give him, we all know they give good offers and good.
They want him as well. Chelsea are very keen.
They wanted him last summer, yeah. So if they come in again and they give him a nice salary, a nice package, he could go there. And if Arsenal, listen, I don't think Arsenal need it, but even if Arsenal come in, Arsenal are in a better state than us. So we shouldn't go for him, and he should come to us. It's Staffy, a relationship.
You know what, bro, right? If I on the real talk, Staffy, if I was Man United fan, I wouldn't want Ten Hag spending another penny.
I was going to say that, but
wait until this Jim Ratcliffe guy gets whoever's in, whether it be Paul Mitchell, Dan Ashworth, whoever the hell it is, and then go get it and say to Ten Hag, I ain't letting you pay another penny. Look at the state of what you've done to that Man United side and look how much you've spent on it, man. So that's what I'll be doing, man, getting in that as soon as you can. I don't think Man United need Olise. I mean, listen, they obviously need Olise. They need a lot of players, but I don't think Man United, I don't look at that and go, yeah, that right wing is a real big option. Yeah, it's not great, but there's a lot more priority areas that I'll be looking at than spending 70-80 million on a right winger. But you've already done that and failed, man. So for me, Man United still need
you need a new number 10. You need a new number 8. You arguably need a new center back. You probably need an experienced striker. There's so much more that we need before we go there. So as I said,
this is a thing. This is a thing. When you had Sancho, right, who, to be fair to Sancho, had not had an opportunity to cook with a proper number 9, right?
I did
like
say
he
that.
did,
yeah.
like he did.
Yes, that's and he cooked with Ronaldo.
Oh right, no, and as for Dortmund, we've already seen it, right? So then you go and sign Højlund, who, yes, he's younger, yes, he's rawer, but he has similar attributes to Haaland, yeah. And then instead of like the writing was on the wall when you've got Sancho and you go and spend with all the gaps that Staffy just spoke about, you go, we've got a right winger in Sancho, but instead of giving him a chance and filling one of the other gaps, I'm going to go and spend 85 million or 80 million on Anthony. The writing was on the wall. He don't like Sancho, yeah? And that's what it is now. Sancho's gone over there. And if you're the board right now, Sancho's digging Ten Hag's grave because the board has sat there. They're giving Ten Hag a chance, probably till the end of the season. But they're watching Sancho and watching what he's doing Dortmund. And first game, an assist. Probably the type of assist that Højlund would eat up, right? Absolutely gobble up, yeah? And they're sat there thinking, okay, we see it. We do see it. So I think actually the end of the season, a good bet would be which one's going to end up at Man United, Sancho or Ten Hag. And my money would be on Sancho coming back and not Ten Hag.
If you have a thing with Man United, though, you have a thing with Man United, you're talking about all these things you want in your team. no manager is ever going to succeed at Man United until you sort yourself out behind the scenes.
Yeah,
you don't have basic things that Chelsea have, that Man City have. You don't even have that. Your club is rot. Your training ground is an embarrassment. Your stadium needs redoing. Every manager's got the Man United, you know, have not got. They've got the money to spend, but in terms of like the structure's not there. The structure is not there. Ten Hag does not play the football he plays at Ajax because he can't do it at Man United. Because the fact is that no manager, let alone players, should go to Man United until they sort themselves out behind the scenes. Because I'll tell you one thing: this is what you do at Man United every season. One season, you'll come third or second, and you think, oh, all right, everything's all right. The next season, it goes wrong. Reason why? Because you haven't got a style of play. I saw you against Tottenham. I was shocked. Tottenham, who've only had a manager for the light since the summer, have got a structure of play. You know, Ange ball, pressing, you know, inverted football, you know, getting numbers forward. You guys were just playing like we were playing on
you just debunked yourself there. You just debunked yourself there. Can I tell you why?
I was about to say the same thing.
I'll tell you why. You just debunked yourself there in the same sentence. Because you said you need a structure. I agree with you 100%. But you don't need a structure in the club to play a style of football. And you just said it. The proof was in the rest of your sentence. You said, Ange, no one here sat here and rated Levy. Everyone knows.
Yeah, facts,
now, listen, everyone doesn't expect Spurs to win anything as long as Levy is there.
Yeah.
However, Ange came in and he proved, listen, with limited resources, I can influence an identity. And here's what I always say, because me and SAEED would sit on this channel a lot and we argue about injuries and Casemiro coming in and out and all these players. I kept saying that you don't need a fully fit squad to have an identity. The difference between quality players and low quality players is the execution of the identity, aka what Ange is doing. When Romero and what's his name, Van de Ven were out, you saw Davies and you saw Emerson. Now, Emerson is not a great passer on the ball. When he played against City, he gave up the ball about 4 times and they got away with it. So when Romero was there, he would do it better. However, what is the identity? Is that we're going to pass from the back. We're going to play expensive football. The left back has to be here. The right back has to be here. And we're going to get the ball to them. That's what an identity is. So I get you when you get to that. But Ange himself debunked that no matter how shit the structure is, no matter how much you spend or you don't spend, you are still able to apply your philosophy on the pitch. And that's what Ten Hag has not been able to do.
Your leaders? Where's your leaders, though? Where's your leaders? You've got no leaders in
He's fighting them. He's fighting them.
You know what it is, though? Yeah, I think it comes down to as well. The manager ain't got control of what he wants to do on his team. Yeah, the football structure isn't great, but I feel like what we can control the football pitch, a lot of it has come down to Ten Hag's inability to create an identity with
Solskjaer, though, you had the Solskjaer got
100%.
Where was the structure of Solskjaer? Where was the structure under Mourinho? Mourinho to this day says that his greatest achievement was finishing second with that team.
Hi guys.
That says a lot about the whole situation since Sir Alex said the team. You had Van Gaal, great reputation, but the best he can get you was 4th and 5th. And he tried to get some sort of structure. He got sacked because he couldn't get the top 4. You got Mourinho in. Now you had big name managers. Something has to be wrong behind the scenes where these
100% is
can't do something.
SAEED,
I wanted to get.
Sorry, can I just say one thing, SAEED? SAEED, as a game going United fan, because there's something that I think Ten Hag did, and I gave him mad credit for last season, And Kenny, again, you'll remember this, When I was young, teams got off of the team coach at Old Trafford 1-0 down, right? That was just how it was. You went there and it was like, fucking hell. It's like me going Anfield, like City and Anfield, City and White Hart Lane. It's not good. And that was it. And last season, one of the things that I credited Ten Hag for so highly, because before Ten Hag got there, you know, when you had Everton coming and doing the suey, right? And I'm thinking, fuck me, as Old Trafford got this bad that teams like Everton are disrespecting Old Trafford, and I think in Ten Hag's first season, he came there and your home form was unreal, Your home form was back to okay. And then I think all that work he's done in one season, he's just Bournemouth are now rocking up 3-0. And are you sat there thinking, because last season you must have been thinking, good, we've got Old Trafford back, the Rock. And like that, the minute you lose Old Trafford, you're fucked. You're like,
100%. Spot. I think ever since February. I think February onwards, we kind of just fell apart, man. And then
when Liverpool beat you 7-0, that's when you went in that.
Exactly. He overused
Look at
players.
MONTZ grinning teeth.
He was
Look at him, shameless. Look at him. We're getting on to you next. Don't worry. You got a player link to you. Don't worry. But carry on.
Number on my back.
We overused players, man. We overused players. We over kind of like, and then obviously burnout came in and whatnot. And then obviously he's relying on certain players. He doesn't use the squad properly. There's so much things that the manager's created. And I feel like ultimately he's failing now as a result of that, man. Not trusting the squad. Buying, signings that didn't make sense. Onana not being good enough. Mount has been on holiday for about, the whole year. I don't know where he is. So we've had a lot of pointless signings, man. Ante's not worked out. He's kept obviously Sancho at the dark, so we've not really been able to use him. So Martial is having fallen out with him. Varane, tactical reasons. Casemiro's out of the team for a while, then he got injured. So, there's a lot of issues that he's created himself, man. And ultimately, it's about the football pitch that counts as well, as much as what's structure. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I hear that. Listen, I want to go on to Liverpool actually, and I want MONTZ and I want Dave to talk, because obviously the only one that can't get cooked here at all in any level is Dave. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, I can remind. Hold on, I can remind you.
He just lost 4 yesterday.
I can remind you about last season. No problem. No problem, bro.
Look at this guy. Listen, we know what you are, man. Listen, don't have to be insecure about it. Listen, let's get on to Dave, yeah? Let's get on to Dave. Dave, Liverpool are linked with the Sporting Lisbon centre-back, Inácio. He's 22 years old, centre-back from Portugal, Portuguese centre-back. What do you make of this link, and what do you make of Liverpool? And then we'll get on to MONTZ.
MONTZ or Dave?
You first, Dave. You first.
Me? I have no idea who that is, bro. Man, I don't follow Portuguese.
Do you think? What do you think they need to win?
You're the Portuguese one, Northside. Surely you know, bro.
I don't have the time, mate. I don't have the time anymore.
Well, you better stop speaking in Portuguese then.
I get that, Oh, the Portuguese is getting old. Oh, sorry, my passport doesn't change because you don't want to hear me speak a Portuguese. I don't just.
Your Portuguese is older than you.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, it is what it is. But what do you think they need, though, Dave? What do you think Liverpool need to win the league?
Liverpool to win the league. Do you know what? I've always been a big fan favorite this season of Liverpool actually challenging for the title, because I said at the beginning of the season, there's no other team in the Premier League that can challenge Man City for the title apart from Liverpool. Their style of play is really, really fluid on occasions, but they have killers up front that can get the goals already. So I don't think personally they need anything. Depends on Salah, really, what happened with his AFCON injury. I'm not sure what the full extent of that is. Let's see how they can maybe bolster the squad in that respect. But I don't think Liverpool need anything apart from maybe a really creative midfielder that can, instead of obviously Salah dropping deep and creating most of the chances for Liverpool to go forward, Jota obviously can play a bit deeper role as well. But for me personally, I don't think they really need anything too extensive to challenge for the title. They have the basis there. And apart from maybe a really creative midfielder and maybe a substitute centre-back that can maybe cover for Van Dijk or Konate or so forth, I think they are firm favourites for the league for me this year. I don't think Man City... I think Man City, obviously, after the turn of 2024, like last year, I'm sure they will go on these 20 win unbeaten runs or something. Who knows? But you know what? I think Liverpool are firm favourites to catch Man City or beat Man City if they are going both for the league. I don't think Arsenal have anything in them to challenge for the title at all. Last year I actually bet Arsenal to win the league. This was before the season started. Before the season started,
what was the odds?
Wow, that's mad, because they were. That is mad. Before last
33-1. When I saw Arsenal in pre-season, I was like, this team are absolutely cooking something special. This year,
did you think you, man, were going to win the Champions League as well?
Just
guy, asking for a friend. So.
Look at that, man. That's a shame.
That's inspiring, man.
When you win another 13 Champions League.
I hear it.
That's what I'm saying. Man, contact the Dave, bro.
I don't want to go to... I'll be real. I don't want to go back to Madrid this year. Can we all just quickly, all of us, just tell MONTZ... that they must. Can all of us tell Liverpool?
They must.
They must. You must, bro. You must.
Listen, I'll take you all on if I need to. When we get to me, we'll get to me.
Let me say something quickly about Liverpool. I think just looking at the general aspect, look, Klopp throughout the whole team, they have balance across all that team. Every single area on the pitch, they're balanced completely.
Apart from DM.
Do you know what?
It's the only place, though. It is. I agree with you.
Yes, it can be. But do you know what? I think if you are going to go on a full attack charge against Liverpool, and they catch you on that counter,
you're fucked.
You're pretty much done already. You're pretty much done before you even start. So, teams would they actually have to sit off against Liverpool, or go like Arsenal in the FA Cup and get slaughtered?
Man United, bro. Man United have got the blueprint. SAEED was there when you did it.
Man United, got the draw. Look, that's Ten Hag. That's a Ten Hag system.
We know.
0-0 draw against Liverpool. It's just completely. It's a completely different level. So, look, for me, I think Liverpool are the number one favourites to win the league this year. I'm fully. If they win it, I said on my Insta story, I'm getting a Liverpool shirt. I'm not lying.
Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to yourself?
I'm getting a Liverpool shirt.
Wow.
I'm getting a Liverpool. I said on my story, I said, if Liverpool win, I said it before the season started, if Liverpool win this season, I'm getting a Liverpool shirt.
That's crazy.
Can I just say,
for someone who's taken 2 Champions Leagues from me, pick you up.
Can I just say though, before MONTZ comes in on Liverpool, right? I actually feel like the other centre back at Sporting Lisbon is better. Diamande. I look at him and I think, wow.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. He's a beast, isn't it?
He looks the next thing, man. Like, he looks the next thing. That Inacio, I think he's got a 51 million release clause or something crazy. I don't know if he's coming in this window to Liverpool, by the way. I have no idea how much money Liverpool have got. I imagine they've got a lot because they could have spent 115 on Caicedo and it went for Endo, right? So I imagine they've got a lot of money. Yeah. But if I'm looking at spending money on a player, I would try and do all I can to go and get Palhinha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Palhinha number said.
That's my guy. That's the guy I've been screaming for. Even last season when he wasn't the most popular suit for a DM kind of thing.
And now when you look at the DM market, it's shit, man. So you know what? Palhinha looks good in that DM market. Look at Calvin Phillips getting tossed around.
Well, listen, I said to MONTZ, I said on City Extra when we were talking, I don't think City are going to do any business, but the one that I would do 1,000,000% would be Palhinha. Not only because I think that he could come in and do that job, but also just to stop them lot from getting him. Because I think if he goes to Liverpool, that could be the difference. Like, it's one of them signings where I just think, you know, like when you look at Mane and when you look at Wijnaldum and you look at a few players that were playing at a certain level, Klopp took them to a next level. I look at Palhinha and I just think that Klopp takes him and turns him into an absolute monster. Like, I really do.
Baller. You know what I'm saying? Those are the Portuguese ballers I want to be associated with. Yeah, not Fabio Vieira, not them Filhos da Puta like that. You know what I'm saying? Man, telling me about that guy. You know what I mean? Palhinha, you know what I'm saying? But listen, MONTZ, do you want Inacio? Would you want? I mean, Antonio Silva plays for my national team. He's another one that's up and coming. He could be your Ruben Diaz. You know what I'm saying?
Not too convinced on Antonio Silva. Obviously, I haven't watched him too much. I watched a little bit more of Inacio. For me, he looks more of a suit for Liverpool's defense. Do you want me to be honest, guys? Hey, I'll take anybody right now, man. I need something. We need something because the Kwanzaa's there. I'll be honest. Listen, as much as I rate Kwanzaa and he's a good young centre back, and then you, man, who in here is 6'5" and can win a header? Because
Kenny.
Centre back. Yeah. We need that. We need that right now. Can you play?
I'm not that tall, but I'm quite tall. But yeah.
Yes, if you can play in the DM, we'll take you too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be real.
I'll tell you one. I won't tell you one thing, right? Talking about Liverpool, every time that guy Konate plays against their players, they tell you what,
absolute beast, mate.
They shit their pants, mate.
Yeah, he's a beast, mate.
Martinelli goes green when he sees him. I remember the game at Anfield when we drew 2-2 when we were comfortable. And then Kanate tackled Xhaka, and Xhaka wanted to give it, and he looked around and saw Kanate and went, "No, I don't want any of that."
Yeah,
that changed that game. Kanate was the one who brought you lot back in the game, and then at the Emirates, Kanate was your man. Was a man of naturally.
And at Anfield, he was very good at Anfield as well. But in terms of centre backs, because if you look at the centre back list, you obviously got Virgil, Kanate, Gomez,
Matip.
Matip obviously has the ACL, and obviously Kwanzaa's the one who's coming through.
Matip's got an ACL.
Yeah, Matip done.
I didn't know that.
I thought he was playing it. I thought he started it.
I didn't. I missed that one, bro. Yeah, I missed that completely.
Joe Matip. Yeah, Matip's
what is
done? He's done.
I didn't hear that. Well, I missed that one.
Yeah,
that's why. Was that recent?
That's why Kanate is
right.
Because
no, so not that recent then.
I'd say like 2 months, 7 weeks ago, 6, 7 weeks ago.
So you're down to 3 centre backs at the moment.
Well, 4 if you class Joe Gomez, but Joe Gomez is covering the 2 left backs that we don't.
Hold on. Kanate, Van Dijk, and Gomez. Come on, but nah, I'm not having that. I'm saying no, but that's cool.
Because of Matip's ACL, the only reason Kanate is getting game time is because of Matip's injury. Matip was Liverpool's second best centre back by far this season. His form, I wanted him out the club last season. I said his time's done. Thank you for everything. It's time to go. Listen, when I say these things, I want my players to prove me wrong. If you end up staying, prove me wrong. I said 2 players cannot play for my club again. Joe Gomez cannot play centre back for the club again. Matip, your time is done. And these are 2 players that have shut me up. And as a football fan, I love my players, but I love the club first. And if you can shut me up, I'd rather say
Amen, bro.
I'd rather say I'm wrong with armpits.
MONTZ. That's the one thing I always say. Like 100% on that one. Like when Northside, I'm sure you're the same. Kenny, anyone that's ever negative, SAEED, we've all been at one point. MONTZ, you've seen it. I've been negative on some City players. It's just being critical. We want to be proven wrong. We want them to turn it round and go, all right, fair. Like you, man, probably you're on the edge with Ten Hag, Staffy inside. But listen, if he turns it round, you go, right,
cool. We've fallen off.
Yeah, no, apparently we benefit when the club does bad, as if I don't want my club to win. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, wasn't I backing Ten Hag last season? These guys, listen, some people want you to be attached to your players and your manager more than the club. At the end of the day, bro, I don't care who's the manager for me. I don't care who's the SAEED can play left back for me, and if we win the league, that's all I count. I don't need to love SAEED as a player. I just want to win.
SAEED will be a beast left back.
And listen,
it's better than Shaw. Let me tell you that. More passion in the back.
I reckon SAEED probably could keep his fitness better than Shaw as well.
I'm telling you, man. Shaw's been injured for fucking years, mate. It's crazy.
You won't catch Mourinho criticising SAEED ever.
But what I was saying,
be like, respect me, mate. Respect me. You know what I'm saying?
But man, with the centre-back situation, I was just saying that, like, I feel like with the amount of injuries that are happening, not just to Liverpool, but to everyone's back, like everyone's getting their injuries here and there. I can't. If you look at Kanate and look at Joe Gomez, they're the 2 surviving centre-backs aside from Virgil van Dijk. They are the 2 most injury-prone centre-backs at Liverpool Football Club. How the hell are people saying Liverpool must go for the title or win the league when the 2 centre-backs that we have, aside from the guy in Virgil, they're not known to stay fit? If they can stay fit, it's a different conversation. I still trust Liverpool to at least be second or go all the way. But Kanate is someone who I don't trust his fitness, and Joe Gomez, don't even get me started.
No, his fitness has always been questioned. But what's happening right now? He's playing out of position. But one of the reasons why Liverpool are in a position where they're challenging and they're still in the cups is one reason: Jurgen Klopp. You know, they were talking about how Jurgen Klopp turns good plays into really great plays. He's getting a tune out of his plays. Look at Conor Bradley. He comes on when Alexander-Arnold's injured. The quality hasn't gone down because Klopp has got him into that situation where he can get a tune out of him. At Arsenal, they're having a problem with Arteta. Everyone calls Arteta this great coach, like that. At the moment, we still got players like most of our alleged great players. They the tag form is temporary, class is forever. Yeah, they're in that form is temporary class, 100%. As far as I'm concerned.
Well, Kenny, it also goes back to what you said. Sorry, MONTZ, just quick about the system. The key is, I think, with Klopp, with Pep. is that there's two things that they have. Firstly, the system, the belief in the system, and they make sure that every single player there knows the system and believes in the system. So exactly like you said, they can bring in a young player. He knows the system well enough to maybe not be the best player on the pitch, but to perform and understand the system. The second thing is, I think, and this is where Klopp and Pep are really, really elite with young talent, is they help to build up confidence in the young talent. Like if you're a young player and Klopp or Pep play you, you know it's not because there's pressure for them to play young players. It's because they believe in you, right? They believe that you can do a job and you're good enough. And, you know, remember Pep used to get criticised for not giving enough City players time, right? But imagine if you know your player doesn't just give anyone time for the sake of it, and then all of a sudden he turns around and says, like Bob last week against Newcastle, mate, you're going on. Pardon? Grealish is on the bench and you're picking me. How confident does that make you? And I think that's where Klopp and Pep are elite. Like, but yeah, back to you, MONTZ. Sorry, I
was just saying.
What about your fullback?
Hold on. Let MONTZ finish, Dead.
Yeah, go on, MONTZ. Go on, MONTZ.
No, go on.
No, what's that young fullback at Man City?
Which one? Go on.
Rico Lewis.
Rico
Lewis.
Yeah, see, Rico. I mean, Rico. Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to cut in on Kanate.
He's not throwing him in the deep end. Do you know what I mean?
Last season he did. Last season, out of nowhere, he threw him completely in the deep end. But it's but you get the thing is with Rico Lewis that people maybe don't know is Rico Lewis skipped. He skipped EDS pretty much. Like Pep was like, so Oscar Bobb's older than Rico Lewis, right? Hamilton, who came on the other day, they're older than Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis skipped like the whole EDS thing because Pep believed in him. People don't know this, but he's captained City's teams through the youth team from young, right? And Pep's just noticed this guy gets the system. He gets how I want to play football, and he's. For me, he's more of he looks best as a box-to-box, not even as a right-back, not as a DM. So, but MONTZ, over on Kanate. Sorry, I know I interrupted.
No, I was just kind of saying that I feel like the fitness is something that can't really be relied upon, which is why someone like Inacio, for me, would slot in perfectly at Liverpool. And not even just to start, but just to allow options of rotation, because we're going to have, it's looking like Liverpool are going to go for all 4 trophies this year. And if we are going to do that, then there is going to be, we are going to slow down. If we talk about in 2021, 2022, when we were trying to go for that quad, those last 5 games, you could see man was slowing down.
Well, the Chelsea Cup final game for me, that was the one where I realised you'd gone, because Diaz had come in and looked so good for you, and I was looking in that cup final against Chelsea. Because remember, that was the one season where the cup final was before the league had ended, whereas usually it's the other way around. And I watched Diaz, and when Diaz's energy had gone, I thought, this Liverpool team are absolutely blowing. There's no more in them.
Diaz, obviously, the whole AFCON thing had happened, where Salah was slowing down. Mane was no longer good enough to play left wing, so we managed to go up top, and that worked. And that's another thing where we credit Jurgen Klopp for something to see an issue and to fix it. But the main issue is that we had to inject. We had to inject flipping Thiago's knee, and we had to almost get Fabinho fit enough, racing back to fitness for the Champions League final, because man were breaking down. True. Because all 4 competitions at a high rate, at the intensity that Liverpool play, is not sustainable for a season. So the only reason why I'm not here shouting that Liverpool are going to win the league isn't because we don't have the quality. It's because there's the Europa League, there's the FA Cup, and there's the Carabao Cup. So unless we recruit, I don't know if Liverpool have the capacity to do that. Because again, don't want to go back to.
Well, you changed your old midfield, don't you? You changed your old midfield because
the whole midfield is.
You know what you said about the 22 season. I think that had an effect into the next season where you missed out narrowly for the Champions League.
Always does, 100%.
Yeah, I think that had an effect, because I think if you look at Man United as well, I think. Like certain players like Casemiro, it was brilliant for Man United last season. But this season, you couldn't move. Teams were just going like Man United for butter. But one thing I respect Klopp, he addressed that midfield issue. Obviously, he hasn't got a DM, but what he done is he said, Henderson, no legs. Firmino, no legs, gone. Let me just change it. Well, you're not playing the kind of pressing way you're playing. As you said, you're a counter-attack team, but getting McAllister, getting Sloboslai, getting Endo. You know what I mean? And getting Gravenberch. freshen it up. You know what I mean?
Kenny, you know what it was with that transfer window that for me, I always think Klopp needs the maddest respect is if you look at the summer, right? And if you look at the January transfer window last year in the summer, the price of midfielders was insane. Yeah. You're talking prime forwards prices for midfielders. Yeah. And, you know, Caicedo, what was it? 130, was it? Lavia, who's for me, listen, I rate Lavia, but unproven 60. Enzo had been 100 not long before. The price of central midfielders in the summer was absolutely insane, right? And in that summer, Jurgen Klopp rebuilt Liverpool's whole midfield for pretty much the price of Caicedo, right?
Yeah.
When you look at that, you're like, do you know what? That's mad. How he's managed to do that. And I think you're right. Like, it's hard at the moment as well. We know with Calvin Phillips that to get a DM that can come in and do the job. I don't know what everyone's view is, but my view is the DM is the most important position on the pitch, right? It's my favorite position on the pitch, and it's the most important position on the pitch. I think when you look at Rodri, that could maybe it depends on the style you play, but nowadays, and that's why it's so hard for us when we look at cover for Rodri. Like, how do you get cover that has a mentality as good as Rodri, but is willing to be cover? That there's not many DMs out there. Like, and people are having to take risks. Some people that have had one season and go, well, let's hope Caicedo's good. Like, to that level.
Do you know what? Right, and this is real talk. Like, and I'll say this to you, Monts, because my Wi-Fi is moving mad, by the way. So hopefully you can hear me. But
I thought you said your
for
Wi-Fi.
Me, yeah, no, I don't have one of them, man.
Yeah, avoid them, bro, but at all costs.
Jeez, I don't do that. I don't do that rubbish. But real talk. You said, Monts, you wanted to go for all 4 trophies, right? I think if you go and get Palhinha, you've got an unbelievable chance of winning the league. And you're unbelievable. I think you're going to win 2 trophies without Palhinha. I think you're going to win the Europa League, and I think you're going to win the League Cup, right?
Yeah, Europa League.
If you wanted to actually go all the way and go for that title, Palhinha would have to be the one for me. And I think that is the player that is ready now, because I've been really impressed with Curtis Jones of late. I think he's been incredible for you. Endo, to be fair, has come in and was laughed at, but actually he did all right.
He's decent.
But yeah, he's looked all right. But for me, that Palhinha in that midfield with the ones Kenny's just talking about, then because Liverpool don't need nothing up top, they're going to score goals. Jota's an absolute killer, yeah. Diaz not really been the best, but he'll come good. Nunez, I don't care what anyone says, causes chaos, yeah, absolute horror.
His chaotic style causes chaos, basically.
Yeah, basically it does. Yeah, he's not for me, but he absolutely causes chaos, right? And you've got obviously Salah as well when he is fit. So for me, Liverpool, fair play. I got it wrong. I thought Liverpool would struggle, not like 6th, 7th and stuff, but I thought Liverpool would struggle to put up with a brace because of the. I didn't think you had enough at centre back or in defensive midfield. Kenyatta has been.
I think that's what MONTZ is getting at. That's what you're getting at. The one thing that I think that I've known MONTZ has spoke on this before. What you're getting at is at the moment Liverpool defensively are looking great, but they're looking great with apart from Van Dijk. Yeah, they're looking great with with Gomez and with Konate, who are 2 players that when it comes to fitness, you're kind of thinking, fucking hell, one injury and we're fucked. But also the key with Palhinha as well is not just how good he is we have to remember McAllister is currently being used in a role that he's
deployed wrong.
Palhinha unleashes McAllister. He unleashes McAllister 100%.
I don't think he'll do that well as a DM. I can't lie. I got it wrong. Like in what I thought about what McAllister could do, and even the other guy, Endo. Yeah, like he's done well as well. But I just think it's a risk. You know what I mean? It's a risk relying on both of them without getting a CDM.
To not get a CDM, and by the way, I don't think we actually go and get a CDM. That's the side.
It's mad when you know the money you've got because you wanted Caicedo. That the money is there.
From what I've heard, we're gonna more prioritize a centre back first, innit? Which is again mind blowing to me because a DM, like you said, for me, you can talk about the Allisons, you can talk about the Van Dijks, you can talk about the Salahs, talk about the Trents. Yeah, we've been successful through the prime phase of Fabinho.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, the big boy trophies. Yeah, not FA Cups and not disrespecting the FA Cup and the League Cup. The big boy trophies were when we had the best of Fabinho. When Fabinho was injured for most of the season, we just about scraped third. When Fabinho fell off completely, we finished 5th.
Bro, it's the same for you and us. You look at the City season when Fernandinho got put. Like, simple question to everyone: Will City have won a league without Fernandinho, Nigel De Jong, and Rodri? That's the truth. It's one of
Yaya Toure, bro. Not enough people talk about Yaya Toure.
Yaya's more of a box to box. I'm looking at a full-on DM.
I've ever seen in my life, bro.
You take that man out, and it's just different.
Yeah, but the thing with DMs, though, the reason why they did well is not just because everyone just thinks DMs just hold position, protect back four. You got a modern DM's got to have more than that now. Like Thomas Partey is a modern DM. He's a CDM where he's got the pass and he can get forward. Just being a DM nowadays is not good enough. Yeah. You look at Declan Rice. I call him Declan English because he was Irish before, but no, he's not Declan English. But you think about it, Declan Rice, right? Everyone just puts like I said, the flowers out and confetti out. I was thinking, hang on here. He's just doing his job. I sound like Roy Keane, don't I? Just doing his job. He's just doing recoveries. You're doing these special Pele passes, or running the midfield like Partey.
He does the simple stuff well.
Yet people say he's an upgrading Partey. That's an insult.
No, Partey is.
You know what I mean?
But that's why Kenny now the
fitness and reliability.
He's the guy.
The fitness, I do hear it's the fitness and reliability means that there's a bigger sample size for Rice. But I do hear it. Partey when he was fit last season, when he dropped off, it was a difference for you last season. Really,
it is.
And Saliba, obviously, but I think
Saliba. Now that we're talking about Saliba, just to wrap up because we do have to wrap up. Ligt, Kenny. Are you happy with the links? Arsenal going in for Ligt, and anybody else can join
Arsenal.
Yep, that's the rumours.
No,
I don't know.
It's United.
Arsenal won't get the Ligt, mate.
It's United.
I can't see that one.
Does he even start for Arsenal? Does he actually start?
Bro, he doesn't start for any of our clubs, bro. He doesn't start.
I've not really looked. I've not really looked at the Ligt and gone, wow, that's who I want. And I thought I would have when I was hearing the hype. And I've got to say, I'd take Saliba and Gabriel over him from what I've seen. Maybe I haven't seen De Ligt long enough. Maybe that's fair. But I look at it and think Gabriel and Saliba right now are probably two of the only positives, along with Rice, that I can say I'd be happy to keep at Arsenal right now. And all of the other players at the moment have regressed under Mikel Arteta. So they're all for me, their places aren't 100% a given right now. So but I can say Gabriel.
I think Gabriel's been good this season. I think Gabriel's actually. I think every season Gabriel is getting better. He is like he used to have a lot more mistakes. Yeah, he is to be fair.
Right because of the Saliba, but I think with when you saw that De Ligt, if you just noticed that Ajax side that should have got to the Champions League final in 2019, they've all made transition and left Ajax. How many of them actually cooked?
Kenny, none of them.
None of them.
Kenny, you want me to go through them, Kenny? Ziyech didn't work at Chelsea. Donny van de Beek didn't work at United.
Yeah.
Young, listen, he's playing for Barca now, but I've heard a lot of criticism about him for years. What's his name? De Ligt, listen, because I'm seeing the comments saying, "Oh, he would start over Gabriel. He would start." I'll tell you right now, he wouldn't start over any center back in the top 6. I'll tell you that he wouldn't go anywhere.
I can tell you now, in that Holland back three, the way
he doesn't even play there.
Oh, exactly. That's what.
If you can start in a top 3 next to Van Dijk and what's his name, Ake, and there's one more. The guy that plays in Inter, he's started there a few times. If you can't get ahead of these guys, obviously you can't get ahead of Van Dijk, and you can't play in the 3. You're not playing anywhere else. They had to go get Blind as an emergency last year in Bayern, and he was starting there. Bro, didn't work out at Juve, didn't work out at Bayern. If you don't work out in those leagues, why would you work out in the Premier League? And I said this, I would start Harry Maguire tomorrow. Remember when he went the same? He went the same year. No, and I don't even.
Harry Maguire is too far, mate.
No. I swear, you cook. Harry Maguire's got Man United at the wrong time. A lot of the players that you laugh at, they go to a club that's hasn't got a clear playing style. I tell you now, Harry Maguire had a chance to go to Man United or Man City. I can tell you categorically now, he'll cook under Pep.
Do you know what it is with Maguire? The one thing I would say is, especially this season in particular, Maguire's done, and even when he got the armband, the minute he got the armband, he was allowed to keep that armband for way, way, way too long. It should have been taken off him and said, do you know what? You're not You're not captain material. It's too much pressure. We've spent too much money. We're not going to sell you. Go back to defending and let's get those basics right. Now, this season, when he's done the basics quite well. The problem is he's not being controlled and he's still being allowed to wander forward and do weird stuff. A manager should just say, Harry, be a defender. Stop trying to do all these weldy passes and all this and that. And I think if Harry Maguire was managed as a person better, I think he'd look better on the pitch. But I don't think anyone can manage him, to be fair. But carry on De Ligt.
I'm just saying Maguire's a better defender than him right now, and people don't want to say that. There's a reason why the guy hasn't succeeded in 6 years since he left Ajax. Why do you think he got bounced 2 times since, and they want to get rid of him again? I'll tell you what, because Maguire was 80 million, and he went, I think, to Juve for 60 million, if I'm correct. If it was the other way around and De Ligt would have came to us, the only reason he doesn't get the Maguire treatment is because that transfer happened. If it was the other way around, if we got De Ligt, it would have been the same feeling. I think he would have been worse than Maguire because I'm looking at his career right now. The guy's done nothing. He's done nothing since he left. That hype that he had at Ajax when he was 18 or 19 and he had the armband on him, and you look at his career now, he's still young, by the way. How old is he? 26?
25.
There you go, 25. He's actually still young, and they're bouncing over again. Nah, come on.
And you know what? A lot of them
if Ten Hag goes to another club, he'll get it there.
A lot of them that come like Ziyech, you look at Ziyech, you look at Van der Beek, you know what I mean? A lot of them are flattered to deceive when you really look at it. And what doesn't make sense is like, I don't, this is why I'm skeptical, even with Portuguese players coming from the Portuguese league. Like, I'm very skeptical because even when you look at the Portuguese league, we're talking about Ajax, but even when you look at the Portuguese league, what of the ones have been really like taking the world by storm? When you look at João Felix, he hasn't impressed. Renato Sanchez, he hasn't impressed.
Yeah, that was the one. Renato Sanchez.
Do you know what I think it is though? I think there's more to it. I think players can look good in the right system and being managed correctly, yeah. And just because they look good, being managed correctly in the right system, that doesn't mean if they go somewhere else, however that manager chooses to manage them and play them, they're going to look good. I think Milner's a great example. Milner looked good at City. He went to Klopp, and under a Klopp system looked good. Why? Yeah. Because it's 2 managers that have a system and know how to manage players, right? Yeah. Whereas other people, it's like you're throwing them into a completely different system. There's players that could cook in one system that wouldn't cook in others. There's players that would work at City that wouldn't work at Liverpool, and vice versa. And
there's no league to go off as well, though, Daps. Because when you look at the Latin players that go to Portugal, technically they are trained to a level where, as soon as they up their game, they can transition to La Liga because they're both very technical leagues. It's a bit higher.
Don't ask English players to do that.
When you look at other leagues, it's hard to kind of see like, who's going to transition to the Premier League? Because the Premier League offers something, the way that we play football here, offers something that the other leagues are not, that's not their strongest attribute. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, all you have to do is
Osimhen and De Ligt and all that. I'm thinking
this is why
it's not even other countries. You can look at bro, there's certain players that can drop from the Premier League to the Championship and do a job, right? And there's certain players that look so damn good in the Premier League. You drop them to the Championship where they're not as protected. They'll get 10 barrels of shit kicked out of them, and they'll look awful. It's just different. Every league is different, and but that's down to the manager. The manager has to manage that.
But the Premier League, traditionally, in terms of like certain players come, the Premier League for me, the hardest league I think to make that transition. If you can do it in the Premier League, I'm not bigging up English football and say it's better than anyone else, but the physical aspect of the Premier League in terms of like the demands, and you even got, and it's not just the English managers, it's just managers like Klopp, Arteta, and Pep saying you got to run.
Yeah. Do you know, Kenny? Yeah. Jose said it when he was at Chelsea. I think it was when he was at Chelsea, or it might have been. Well, Jose at one point said ultimately, when he was at Madrid, there would be certain league games where he could go, do you know what?
Yeah, 7-0. That's a bang.
Yeah, 7-0. We've got Champions League midweek, we can rest some players. He said, when I'm in the Premier League, we could have a team in the bottom 3, right? And I can't rest players because that bottom 3 team could get a result against us. And it is the truth. But I think, and this isn't bigging up English football. This is bigging up the fact that we've got players from all over the world. Like that's the key. We have got players from everywhere. So, and I actually think that's why sometimes some English players look damn good for their club because they're playing alongside absolute talent. Put all the English players together for For England, all of a sudden, it's not the same because they haven't got the maestros there to pull the strings. They're just a load of English players.
Even with the foreign players, over the years, the pace of the game hasn't changed. They might have brought the quality in. Everyone passes the ball from the back, but it's still played at a frenetic pace. And I don't think that, you know, when they talk about Benzema, 36 coming to Arsenal because he can score goals, you're asking a 36-year-old who's never played in our league to come and play at that frenetic pace. It doesn't make sense to me from what I've seen over the years, as a, you know, watching English football since a kid.
I don't think it makes sense to Benzema either, to be fair.
I don't think it makes sense to Benzema. A 36-year-old is going to come to our league.
Ruin his legacy.
The only person, that's why Cristiano Ronaldo, I shake his hand. They should name every street in Manchester after him because he came to the English league and cooked.
And every league.
That's the mentality of him, though. That's down to an elite mentality of the player, man. Yeah. The guys.
That's why I don't think Messi came to the Premier League for that reason only. He would get the physicality. I think it was just
Cristiano Ronaldo's the best player in the world.
Maybe in his
what's his eyes? His eyes went, what's he saying? What's he saying?
Like Foden for me would actually he would do really well
in Spain.
I don't think Saka will do well. I don't think Saka will do well.
I think Saka will do well.
Dave, the top green is gonna come after you, though.
I don't.
They like you until now.
Yeah, I actually disagree that, Dave. And I'll tell you why. Look at all the Premier League players, the English ones, that end up leaving and going to Serie A and what's it called, La Liga, and they all look good. Damien Abraham wasn't. No, and you really, when you think of it, because the Premier League is so physical, that's one thing these leagues don't have. It's much more technical, like Northside said. But when you go there and you have a unique, listen, the Premier League is more of the best athletes in the world, in my opinion. They come from the Premier League. The other leagues are a little bit more technical, but that's why Tammy Abraham went there, had a great first season. Mason Greenwood right now in Getafe having a good season. Bellingham is killing it in Madrid. Is he the most technical midfielder in Madrid? No, he's not. No. But when you look at the physicality that he has, which everyone else lacks, this is the reason why he's able, obviously next to like a few other things, he's able to get on the score sheet a lot. He's able to shine and look like, wow, look at this signing. He came from the Premier League and is absolutely killing. Sorry, not from the Premier League, Dortmund. But you know what I mean, like another English player. There's not a lot of English players that go abroad and honestly fail. Even look at Bundesliga. What's his name? Sancho when he went in his early years.
Yeah, that's why a lot want to go there,
a lot of players, and I encourage that.
This is what I mean about the balance. I think that's what makes the Premier League so good. And this is why I will still go back to saying, you know, when you look at some of the best Premier League teams in history, you'll find they've got a balance. They've got a balance of some English players, some African players, some technical maestros. Like, you have to have a bit of everything. You have to have the ones that, you know, the ones that understand the Premier League. Your Milners, your Barrys, your Parlers. You could go through all the teams. They've always had that one or two English players that get the league and just, you know, they're never going to be the best player.
I've got something controversial to say about the Premier League. We overrate it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why we overrate it a lot is because it's the most watched, because
the money behind it.
A lot of people pay money. But I'll tell you one thing: if Man City win the league 4 times in a row, don't you dare call the Premiership the best league in the world, because that is not competition. That's an indictment, and a poor indictment on the rest of the league. That the Man City, who were not at their best last season, won the league at canter, and if they win it again at a canter, what does that say about our league? Stop saying the Premier League's strong. If a team can win it,
I feel like you don't want to give us the credit for just how fucking good we are.
Where's the competitiveness? Where's the competitiveness?
Facts, Kenny. Absolute facts, because that's the stick that they bash Bundesliga. That's the stick that they bash even La Liga.
Farmers League. This is the Farmers League. Sorry, Liverpool. Sorry, MONTZ, but you got. If we can't stop them, you've got to.
So MONTZ is scared. MONTZ is scared. It's fine.
I've been saying that. When everyone says, "Oh, he can't do it in the Premier," he can't do it in the Prem. I'm sorry, I didn't know the Premier League had seven winners in 7 years. I'm from what I've seen, the same teams won it for the 5 out of the 6. Sorry, 5 out of the 6 City have won. But when that happens again, it's the same sort of thing. I'm echoing your point, but I'm just, when it comes to the foreign player thing, I'm not here. I'm not here for it. I just generally think the market is crap, and football is changing, and footballers are more reliant on whether a manager can implement a system successfully, as opposed to the player being an individual maverick. Because I'm telling you right now, the Özils of today, the Özils of back then, would not last today because of how
facts,
football is.
Bro, you know what? You can look at like the Ozil thing. I remember my friend always used to say to me, but like I'd always rate him and say, knock him and say, look, it's great when you're 2-0 up against this team or whatever, but when you go a goal down, or where does Ozil go? He disappears. You go, yeah, but he's a luxury player. And it's like, but the minute Pep and Klopp arrived in this league, there was no more. And Pep turned around to Aguero and said, oh, you're not chasing back and winning the ball. You're dropped, mate. Like, there's no luxury players in this Premier League anymore. Like, it's changed. It's different.
But I do what you're saying. Bench. Arsenal got a luxury bench because we've got a whole bench that we can't utilize for anything to save us in any capacity, but we got a luxury bench. I want to big up everyone because we do have to go. I know MONTZ, I'm going to be jumping on with MONTZ. We got another stream. We will be redirecting this live to Staffy. Big up to all of you lot. Dave, you know what I mean? Being a Madrista, you know what I'm saying? Listen, being a Madrista is for your health. It's good.
No, it's not good for my health, mate. It's not good for my health. Do you know what? It's not good. Yesterday, mate. It's not good. It's not good. The Madrid derby is literally like the one that we all want to win always. But you know what? Simeone done his thing yesterday, and that's why you know what? If I compare any team that's completely physical and that could hack it in the Premier League, is Atletico Madrid.
Oh, facts.
Because they are physical.
Well, that second leg 2 seasons ago was
they
hell.
take your legs out regardless of what the opposition is. They don't even care, mate.
No, but apparently Simeone is too negative, and we shouldn't sign him in the Premier League.
Simeone is not 100%.
By the way, that's a fast. By the way, you know, Atletico only play pragmatic when they play Madrid and Barcelona. You know, that's
it's true.
Months.
Oh no, against us in the Champions League, bro. They were that was. That was a big opposition. On and off the pitch. It was
last season. They had the second most goals in the season, next to I think on par with either Madrid or Barca, one of them.
It's because when people watch Atletico, they only usually see them play against
Champions
the top
League,
team. So, and that's when Simeone goes, "All right, cool, I know my place. Let me sit back."
And that's where.
By the way, sorry, just quickly. Antoine Griezmann, and you know when he was linked to Man United for a little bit, and there was the whole, he's 31, because you know what it is? I'm tired of this whole 27 is the new 31 and 30 is the new 38. I'm tired of it. What do you mean 30 is the new 38? As long as I've seen
Don't tell me that.
I know, if you can take care of your body, you can play up until 37. I don't care who you are. If you take care of your body and you're professional enough, you can play ball at a serious age. And so people are looking at Griezmann and going, he's 31 now. What's he going to be doing in the Premier League? Look, do you not see what this man's doing to the Real Madrid? See what this man's doing?
De Bruyne's 32 as well. Can I just say, this is and that's where you look at Simeone and you go, do you know what? Fair play, because he changes the way he plays depending on the team he plays. The other thing you could just say real quick is there's a conversation when he's fit. The two best DMs in the Premier League, people were probably going to say Partey's there and Rodri's there. They both came from Atletico Madrid.
There you go. Well, there you go. Listen, we're going to have to wrap up, unfortunately. Big up to Dave. Big up to DAPS. Big up to Mon. Big up to Kenny, Staffy. Listen, all the links to everyone's channel, to Dan, also to SAEED, everyone's links to their channel.
I haven't got a YouTube channel. Just come to my Instagram.
Kenny's Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Kenny's Instagram.
I'm going to find you now, Kenny.
Come on, Kenny. You need to have a channel. But listen, it is what it is.
There's too many of you guys doing it, man. I don't want to take food out of all your kids' mouths.
There's enough to go around. There's enough to go around, man. Our table's long. But listen, people, make sure you're smashing the likes up. You're subscribing to everyone. This is going to redirect to Staffy's channel. I will be live with MONTZ. And love to everyone. Big up for jumping on. And without further ado, we're out. Love.
Hosaloo out.